As a pilot, you're asked to wear a lot of different hats: airman, navigator, meteorologist, physiologist. Well, now it's time to don your physician's hat because we're about to discuss alcohol and drugs and the detrimental effects they can have on your flying skills. Everyone knows that alcohol impairs the efficiency of the human mechanism. People have figured out that if alcohol in driving are bad, then alcohol in flying must be worse. Here's why. Your body absorbs alcohol very quickly. Alcohol takes a long time to metabolize. It gets in the way of your skill performance, and it grossly impairs your judgment. Consider that an automobile moves in only 2 dimensions, while an airplane moves in 3, making its safe operation far more complex. Therefore, any pilot who is not in top condition is severely handicapped. Even straight and level flight from one point to another requires a high degree of judgment, attention, coordination, and skill. Hundreds of decisions must be made, some on the basis of incomplete information. For example, adverse weather, airplane condition, and so forth. Anything that detracts from your ability to make correct decisions increases your chances of having an accident. Let's first consider what alcohol is and how it affects your performance. The alcohol you consume is a central nervous system depressant, and alcohol's effect is greatly multiplied as you climb. For example, 2 drinks on the ground are equivalent to 3 or 4 at altitude. This happens because alcohol interferes with your brain's ability to use oxygen. For a pilot under the influence of alcohol, the decreased oxygen at altitude, along with his brain's lessened ability to use what oxygen is available, can add up to a deadly combination. Now, the word drug evokes an image in the minds of many people far different from its medical meaning. Because of current drug abuse concerns, the term drug is often interpreted to mean marijuana, LSD, amphetamines, barbiturates, or opium derivatives like heroin. Actually, a drug is any chemical compound that produces a specific effect on the body. And illegal drug use is a basis for the FAA to revoke immediately any certificate you hold. We hardly need to discuss the illicit use of psychoactive drugs, LSD for example, which distort your mental processes. No responsible pilot would mix any of these drugs with flying. However, medications taken for minor ailments can also jeopardize safe flight because of their subtle or unpredictable effects, and this includes both prescription and over-the-counter medications. Even the simplest home remedies should be suspect: aspirin, cold tablets, cough mixtures, and laxatives. Recent studies of aircraft accidents suggest that certain categories of drugs may have side effects that contribute to pilot error and accidents. These include antihistamines, drugs widely prescribed and readily available for hay fever and other allergies. Drowsiness is a common side effect. Cough medicines. These can contain combinations of alcohol, antihistamines, and muscle relaxants. Tranquilizers. These agents are usually prescribed for nervousness and hypertension. These too may reduce alertness. Reducing or weight loss drugs and pep pills. Drugs usually containing amphetamines. They produce a feeling of high spirits and false confidence, while actually crippling one's judgment, leading to reckless errors. Barbiturates, nerve tonics, and painkillers. Medications primarily meant to relieve anxiety or reduce pain. These drugs generally suppress mental alertness. Some other dangers are drug allergies. Allergic reactions to a drug can happen unexpectedly and dramatically, disabling a pilot in flight. Unexpected side reactions. Different people may react differently to the same medication. For example, a drug which has no significant side effects in most individuals may, in a few people, produce nausea or vertigo. Change of effect. High-altitude flying, or G-forces, have been observed to change the effect of some medications. Drug combinations. 2 drugs taken at the same time occasionally cancel each other out. make each other more potent, or cause a side reaction not experienced with either medication alone. For example, a person taking an antidepressant may encounter dangerously high blood pressure by using nose sprays at the same time. Even eating some foods in combination with certain medicines has produced dangerous conditions. Be just as cautious with over-the-counter remedies such as aspirin or decongestants as you would be with prescription medications. If you're uncertain about taking a particular medicine before or during flight, consult your aviation medical examiner, AME, or your personal physician. Consider that a need for some kind of medication implies the presence of an illness, and if you're ill, you have no more business in the air than a rough-running engine. The safest rule is to take no medicine before or during flight without consulting your AME. Not only might the medication dull your alertness, but it might suppress the symptoms of your illness, making you feel better than you really are. No one flies well when his system is run down, even by a cold. A pilot who flies while ill or taking a disqualifying medication violates the regulations, which say that a pilot's medical certificate is invalid if that pilot knows or has reason to know of any medical condition that would make that person unable to meet the requirements for the medical certificate. Most important, however, you are unnecessarily jeopardizing your own safety and that of your passengers. And just like with alcohol, the regulations prohibit you from carrying anyone who is obviously under the influence of drugs, unless that person is a medical patient. To sum it up then, if you fly under the influence of alcohol or drugs, you'll add one more hat to the many you wear, a dunce cap.